Welcome to Sasol Secunda. Kindly pay attention to this video as it will provide you with important safety information regarding your current and future interaction with Sasol. We start off by highlighting some general safety rules applicable in both the Sasol Secunda primary and secondary areas. The first important thing to remember is that you will be blocked from sight if you do not adhere to these Sasol and LOC safety rules and procedures. No cameras or photos are allowed. No alcohol, drugs or illegal substances are allowed. No theft or firearms. No littering, no open flames are permitted. Smoking is only permitted in the designated smoking huts. There is one at the staging area. And there is one at the road loading gantry. The staging area is not an overnight facility. Cooking and preparing food with gas cookers or any other open flame source is not allowed, as this is considered a fire hazard. Wear your required personal protective equipment (PPE) at all times. According to South African law, dangerous goods tankers are not permitted to park or drive through residential areas. Our recommended route for tankers entering the site is through Secondary Control Point 5 from Oliver Tambo Drive near the T-junction to Standerton. All firearms need to be declared and handed in at the secondary control points. If you refuse to declare your firearm, you will not be granted entry. Be aware of pedestrians at all times and yield to pedestrians already waiting at pedestrian crossings. Do not exceed the speed limits. In the secondary area, the speed limit is 60 km per hour. In the primary area inside the factory, the speed limit is 40 km for heavy vehicles. During construction and shutdown periods, the speed limit is reduced to 30 km per hour. The staging area has a speed limit of 10 km per hour. Speed limit signs are clearly visible at each area and should be observed at all times. Always adhere to road rules and signs, especially near rail crossings. Know the length of your vehicle and do not endanger those around you. A train always has right of way. It cannot swerve out of the way and cannot stop abruptly. Adhere to signage and take extra care to rail crossings. Please note that only Sasol employees are permitted to operate Sasol equipment. Drivers are not allowed to operate Sasol equipment. No person is permitted to climb on top of the tanker in the staging area. Drivers may not leave their vehicles unattended, as this poses a safety risk. Keep your vehicle locked and the keys with you. General maintenance on vehicles is strictly prohibited in the staging area. Only emergency maintenance can be done in the designated area with the approval of the supervisor on duty. In the case of a spillage or an incident or even a breakdown, report to the shift supervisor immediately and do not move the vehicle unless instructed to do so. There are two types of alarms at Sasol. A gas alarm, which sounds like this, and a fire alarm, which sounds like this. In the case of a Sasol Works emergency or area emergency, the following actions are critically important. When the alarm sounds, you must engage the battery isolator switch and extinguish all sources of ignition. Move very quickly to the nearest emergency assembly point as indicated in each area. Remain calm and be quiet, as it is important to listen to the emergency controller and obey the commands given for your safety. Do not use your cell phone during an emergency, as this interferes with the emergency response communication. Only after clearance has been given by the emergency controller may you return to your vehicle. If your vehicle is in motion while the alarms sound, immediately look for a safety space to pull off and park your vehicle. Switch off the engine and ignition sources, close all air vents and windows. If you have an independent radio, tune in to 97.6 FM for information updates. Remain parked and in the vehicle until all clear signals are given. Remember, the emergency number for Sasol Secunda is 017-610-4444 dialed from a cell phone, or 10-4444 dialed internally from a landline phone. Now that you're familiar with the general safety rules, please pay attention to the LOC specific rules. You will be required to have a full set of personal protective equipment or PPE. However, in the staging area, you are only required to wear the overall pants and safety boots. We request the use of wheel chocks, or commonly known as stop blocks, so that the vehicle remains stationary. A driver will now demonstrate the correct way of securing a set of stop blocks. An incorrect way of securing a set of stop blocks. Use of cooking equipment is strictly prohibited, as this represents a very dangerous fire risk. The Secunda plant has a high volume of pedestrians, particularly in the staging area. At all times, drive with care. Designated parking areas have been provided for your safety and convenience. Please make sure you know where to park. Ask one of the staging area personnel if you need assistance. Spillages or contaminations must be reported immediately to the supervisor on duty for the proper corrective action to be taken. Smoking is not permitted at the weighbridge. Please ensure that you read and fully understand the General Safety Rules road loading document before signing it. You will be provided this document at the weighbridge. When arriving at the road loading area, you need to wear required personal protective equipment, which consist of the flame retardant overall pants and long-sleeved jacket, safety boots, respirator mask, neoprene PVC gloves, safety glasses, goggles, and a hard hat. Remember to be alert for pedestrians at all times and make use of the stop blocks in the correct manner. Once you have parked and switched off your tanker, the Sasol personnel will load the tanker. Please remember that no driver is permitted to operate or assist in operating Sasol equipment. Cell phones are not allowed in the blue lines at the road loading gantry. Cell phones must be left in the control room in the locker boxes provided. This is because a cell phone can be a potentially fatal ignition source. If you accidentally come into contact with hazardous chemicals or liquids, make use of the emergency shower or the eye bath and then notify the supervisor immediately. Before exiting, as part of your pre-trip inspection, ensure that your tanker is not leaking or that your load is properly secured, that your seals are intact, and that your hazcams with your company emergency number on is clearly visible. Because you are on the road all day and fatigue is something you are most likely familiar with, we would like to share our top 5 driving tips. 1. Avoid using your cell phone while driving. Texting or talking breaks your concentration. 2. Check your blind spots and use your mirrors regularly, especially before attempting to overtake. 3. Keep your distance between you and the vehicle in front of you. 4. Slow down in high traffic areas. At 60 kilometers per hour, you are most likely to kill a pedestrian than at 50 kilometers per hour. 5. Take a break. Exhaustion is a major factor in many road accidents. Stop regularly on a long journey. For your convenience, to help fight fatigue, we have the following facilities available for you: bathrooms, showers, hot water, a kiosk where you can purchase cooked meals, and clean eating facilities complete with television and some games. We hope that you enjoy your time with us. Thank you for watching this safety video and drive safely. LOC is our name and outbound logistic is our game.